In this video, we will be factoring trinomials in two variables using decomposition. Here's an example. Factor 8x squared, subtract 2xy, subtract 3y squared using decomposition. Always check for a common factor. In this case, there is none. The product of the coefficient of x squared and the coefficient of y squared is 8 times negative 3, which is negative 24. Write the middle term negative 2xy as the sum of two terms whose coefficients have a product of negative 24. Let's look at some factor pairs. We know we will see a product of negative 24. What we need to see is a sum of negative 2. 1 and negative 24 give us a sum of negative 23. Negative 1 and 24 produces a sum of 23. 2, negative 12 produces a sum of negative 10. Negative 2 and positive 12 produces a sum of positive 10. But we're getting closer. 3 and negative 8 produces a sum of negative 5. Negative 3 and positive 8 produces a sum of positive 5. Still no good. We need negative 2. 4 times negative 6 gives us negative 24, but 4 plus negative 6 gives us our winner of negative 2. We also could have tried negative 4 and 6, but this would give us a sum of positive 2. The two coefficients are 4 and negative 6, so we write our trinomial as 8x squared subtract 6xy plus 4xy subtract 3y squared. We see that 8x squared subtract 6xy plus 4xy subtract 3y squared is equivalent to our original trinomial. Remove a common factor from the first pair of terms. We get 2x outside of 4x, subtract 3y. Remove a common factor for the second pair of terms. We remove a y outside of 4x, subtract 3y. Notice we have a common binomial factor of 4x subtract 3y. You can write your common binomial factor first, and then the second factor is made up of what's left outside, which would be 2x plus y. Our trinomial 8x squared subtract 2xy subtract 3y squared can now be factored as 4x subtract 3y times 2x plus y, or 2x plus y times 4x subtract 3y. And we're done. Here's some practice. You may wish to hit pause here and try this on your own. Factor using decomposition. 3a squared subtract 13ab plus 4b squared. Our product will be 3 times 4, which is 12. Our sum is negative 13, the middle coefficient right here. What two numbers multiply to give us 12, yet add to give us negative 13? Those numbers would be negative 12 and negative 1. Negative 12 times negative 1 produces 12. Negative 12 plus negative 1 gives us negative 13. So now we can rewrite this as 3a squared, subtract 12ab, subtract ab plus 4b squared. From the first group of 2, we can factor out a 3a, leaving us with an a subtract 4b inside. From the second group, we can factor out a negative b, leaving us once again with an a subtract 4b in the set of brackets. This is a common binomial factor. Put our common binomial factor first, which is a subtract 4b, and then our other factor is 3a subtract b. 3a subtract b. There you go. Meaning that 3a squared subtract 13ab plus 4b squared can be factored as a subtract 4b times 3a subtract b. Or we can put the 3a subtract b first and the a subtract 4b second. Either way, we are done. Please proceed to the next activity in this lesson, and thank you for viewing.